What's up, guys? Before I start, just a little word of advice. If you're going to record something, check how much space you have left. I just spent like 18 minutes or so not recording. So, starting over. Hopefully, maybe I'll just kind of get through this a little quicker than I did before, but I'm going to jump back into my collection. I left off yesterday at the Digibooks, but as you can see, the collection looks a little different. I made some changes in the last 24 hours, which I'll just kind of explain as I go along. But where the Digibooks start now are over here. So up here, these aren't Digibooks. These are the collector packs that have the standard Amaray case and whatever artwork or books or whatever. So I have a few of these. Taxi Driver's not quite the same. It seemed like it kind of fit there. So I have the Aliens one, the Goodfellas, and Once Upon a Time in America. All great films I adore. And then this Taxi Driver. I mean, we all know this. This one's been around a long time. But it's a nice release. And then these are the actual Digibooks, which I mentioned yesterday I'm not really a big fan of. So I'm looking to get rid of these, even just switch them out for the Amaray versions if I can find them, if they're available. I know a couple are not, like these two I don't think you can get in standard Amaray cases, but yeah, I'm just looking to get rid of these. So one day I will replace them when I get the chance. But so the first one here is 300, and then as I mentioned, Driving Miss Daisy and Empire of the Sun. This is a pretty rare one, I think. The only time I ever saw it anywhere is when I bought it. The Exorcist, Gladiator, which was a UK import, one that doesn't have the rating on the spine. Green Mile, Jaws, Justice League. One I'll probably hang on to because I really like that cover. This is a Korean film called Nameless Gangster. North by Northwest, Schindler's List, Shawshank Redemption, To Kill a Mockingbird. So those are my actual Digibooks. These last few are they're not quite Digibooks, they're not Amaray cases, they just kind of fall somewhere in between. So I kind of put them with them, and these are some Korean Blu-rays, some Korean special edition Blu-rays. The Good, the Bad, the Weird. One of the best Korean films I've ever seen anyway, Memories of Murder. Mother, and Thirst. And then finally these two, just Gone Girl, which I believe that's the only way you can get that. And then one I definitely want to replace with the standard Amaray is Jackie Brown. This is the Canadian edition, which, I mean, it's nice and everything, but I don't really like it. I want to get the standard Miramax Amaray version from the States sometime. So that's those. Now, the big change I made is I incorporated all of my Disney films into my main collection. These were kind of spread around. Some of them were upstairs with my son's Blu-rays, and then I had a shelf I'll show you after I'm done this, which a lot of these were there. And then a lot of these live action ones were integrated into my main collection, but I decided it was time to bring the Disney ones out all together. The only ones not seen here are Cars 1 and 2, Planes 1 and 2, and The Good Dinosaur, which we do have, but they stayed up with my son's Blu-rays. So I may just actually rebuy some of those because you can get real cheap, and I'll let him keep the old ones that he still has, and then I'll add those back in with these. So what I actually started with here is, to keep with the Disney theme, are the Star Wars and MCU. Blu-rays. Now, Star Wars wise, is just Rogue One and Force Awakens. Obviously, there you go. Last Jedi is with the 4Ks. And then the MCU films in order of release of the film itself. The only two I don't have slipcovers for, which I'm working on finding, is Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2. These were upgrades of the old Paramount releases. Just these kind of are a little more Marvel MCU branded, and you can get slips for them a lot easier. So I like to have slips for all the Marvel movies. So, and then after those, Incredible Hulk was released in between them, but that's with my 4Ks. Thor, First Avenger, and then in their original release Blu-rays, the Avengers, Iron Man 3. I love that cover. And then the last of the Marvel Studio branded ones I have is Thor: The Dark World, followed by Winter Soldier. I have a few of these are the 3D Blu-rays, the next bunch. Got those just because I really preferred the artwork. That's why I bought those, the 3D versions. Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Civil War, and finally Doctor Strange. Alright, so now the Disney movies, they are very specifically ordered, and I'll kind of explain as I go along. First little batch here, these are the current releases of the animated classics. They are the Signature series, which they do about 3 a year. They started in 2016, and they do one in they say winter, but that's usually February or so. One in the summer, usually about June or so, and then one in the fall. And these are not in the order of release. These are just alphabetical. But what they have so far, Bambi. These are all of them so far. There's 6 to date. The next one is Peter Pan, I think it is, in June. Beauty and the Beast. Lady and the Tramp. The Lion King. Pinocchio. I do wish they all had white spines. Again, I'm just being picky. Snow White. Yeah, Snow White. So that's the Signature series Blu-rays. The next batch we have here, these are the Diamond Edition. These were the last wave of releases they had a few years ago. There were 12 of them total, missing 2. Missing 101 Dalmatians and Sleeping Beauty. Working on getting those. And then there's a couple with slipcovers missing because we didn't buy those upon release. With the Diamond ones I found, if you didn't get them right away, the slips were unavailable pretty quickly. And the slipcovers for these Diamond editions seem to be worth more than the Blu-ray themselves online. So, Aladdin, Bambi, Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, and without a slipcover, Jungle Book, Lady and the Tramp, The Lion King, Little Mermaid, which is getting its signature release next summer, I believe. Peter Pan. This it doesn't have a slip, but I found it at a thrift store for like $4. So that was a nice find, even without the slip. And Snow White. So those are 10 of the 12 Diamond releases. The rest are just releases. Some of them are anniversary editions. Some are they just didn't really seem to fall under a branding like these ones did. And there's a bunch were missing, like Robin Hood and Fox and the Hound and stuff. So slowly working on building up what's missing. I would like one day to maybe put these in order of release. I don't know. I'm just glad they don't number these because it would drive me nuts if they were numbered. So the first one here of just the regular Blu-ray releases. So this is 60th anniversary, they called it. Alice in Wonderland, Fantasia and Fantasia 2000, Pinocchio, Pocahontas, and Pocahontas 2 is included in this one. I believe there is a very almost identical release without the Pocahontas 2 included. Sleeping Beauty, and not an animated classic, but still a great animated film, more recent one, Winnie the Pooh. And then the 2 I have no slip covers for out of these. Dumbo, and this never had a slip, not this version. It's had re-releases with slip covers in the past. Princess and the Frog. Now we're getting into the, well, I guess the one stop motion I have, Nightmare Before Christmas, but the 3D animated Disney films. Christmas Carol, the Frankenweenie, which I mistakenly bought a Quebec version. In Canada, Disney does release their Blu-rays, exactly the same ones they release in the US, all English, and then they do bilingual versions just for Quebec. And that's what this is. I bought it by mistake, and it's eating me alive. I need to replace that. Big Hero 6, these stickers are the worst, by the way. The worst. My favorite 3D animated Disney film, Big Hero 6. Another one I adore. When I tried to record this before, I went in this huge monologue about this. I won't do it again, but I'll just say I do like this a lot. I've watched it a lot. My son went through a big Bolt phase when he was 2, and we watched this, I'm kidding you not, almost every single night before he went to bed for probably 6 months. So I've seen it a lot, and I never got sick of it. My wife did, but I never did. Frozen, Moana, Tangled, Zootopia. And then one without a slip, Wreck-It Ralph. All right, and then now the last batch are just the live action Disney. So Alice in Wonderland 2, what's it called? Through the Looking Glass. I haven't seen that one before. Beauty and the Beast, the 2 Narnia films, the 2 Disney ones. The third one was, ironically, purchased and released by Fox, so Disney will probably own it eventually anyway. My favorite of the recent live-action Disney reimaginings, Cinderella. Such a great film. And Into the Woods, which I've never seen. Kind of had this on a bad angle before. I'm going to try to fix that. Jungle Book, also very good. Lone Ranger. Muppet Christmas Carol. Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, oops, Dead Man's Chest, At World's End, On Stranger Tides, and Prince of... I almost acted like this was a Pirates film. Prince of Persia, Saving Mr. Banks, Sorcerer's Apprentice, and Tron Legacy. So those are the ones I have live action with slipcovers. The rest do not have slipcovers. Some I can eventually get, hopefully. Others just never had them before. Earth, Enchanted, which I really love that movie too. Glory Road, Invincible, John Carter, Maleficent, the awful Muppets Most Wanted, Oz Great and the Powerful, Remember the Titans, it needs a new case, it's embarrassing, Santa Claus 2, and Santa Claus 3, oh, and then Tomorrowland. And then down here, I'll just jump over here a little bit. I won't go through these. I'll just kind of show you them. These are the Pixar collection, which is Complete. I don't, well, almost. Don't have some of the offshoot stuff like the Toy Story TV movies and the Pixar Shorts Volume 2, but all the main films we have, like I said, Cars 1, Cars 2, and Good Dinosaur are missing. They're upstairs. And Coco is with my 4Ks, but that's the last little bit of the Disney collection. So I will stand back up with my rickety old knees. So that's pretty... Yeah, something just fell. So that on the main shelf are all the subsections. So now we'll just jump into the main body of it, the A to Z's, the main collection here. So, all right. So starting with the numbers, and everything else now, like I said, is all just numerical. So 10 Cloverfield Lane, and none of these have slipcovers. All the slipcovers are filed away now. 10 Things I Hate About You, 1941, 2001, A Space Odyssey, 20th Century Women, which I obviously haven't watched yet, 21 Jump Street, and the very superior sequel, in my opinion, 22 Jump Street, 28 Days Later, and 28 Weeks Later, 40-Year-Old Virgin, unrated edition, which is way too long. It really is. 42, 50-50, About Schmidt, the Act of Killing, a documentary I am terrified to watch because apparently it just wrecks you. The Adjustment Bureau, big fan of that. A film I absolutely adore, Adventures in Babysitting. The 25th anniversary edition with no special features whatsoever. So that was kind of a bummer. But I'm not a big special features guy, so it wasn't the end of the world. But I like watching interviews with cast members and people involved in films that are 25 years old. You know, it's more interesting than watching an interview with somebody who made a movie 6 months ago. I find anyway. It's still my favorite Harrison Ford action film of all time, Air Force One. And Alexander, don't like that movie really at all. All right, and we will just take a walk down here. Oh, okay. So, now Aliens you saw earlier, but I do have Alien. There's a more recent release of this I want to get that aesthetically matches the rest better. Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. Yeah. All the President's Men, The Amazing Spider-Man, The American Gangster, American Graffiti, which needs to be replaced, American History X, one of my favorite films of all time, American Hustle, American Psycho, another American Reunion, Amityville Horror, the remake, but it's a decent remake, I think, in my opinion. Anchorman 2, which I thought was actually pretty good for a comedy sequel years removed from the first one. Angels and Demons, Apollo 13, everyone's favorite, Armageddon. Great John Candy comedy, very overlooked, Armed and Dangerous. The Artist, rest in peace, that dog. The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford. Great title. Attack the Block, the UK version. Avatar, Aviator, Away We Go. Don't know if I mentioned this in the last video I did, but this is significant because this is the last movie we watched before my son was born. We watched it a few hours before my wife went into labor. Ironically, because you know what the movie's about. Babel, Baby, Secret of the Lost Legend. Now, I mentioned in my other video of getting rid of box sets and getting the films individually. I did that with Batman, and I'll get to something in a second here. So this I need to get a better version of, though. It's pretty rough shape, but so Batman. And I say what you will about these movies, I love the artwork. Just the Bat logo is brilliant. Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. Now I bought this off eBay after just getting rid of the box set with those thin cases. And what do I get in the mail? The thin case Batman and Robin. And people I bought it, the website I bought it from, they didn't have any more. They said I could send it back and get my money back and everything, but I paid so little for it, I figured what the hell, I'll just keep it and just try to get another one day. But just from an OCD perspective, that is just brutal. Anyway, A Beautiful Mind, Becoming Jane, Beetlejuice, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. A very underrated, very underrated film. Bernie. If you're a fan of Richard Linklater, can't believe I forgot his name there for a second. You should watch this. It's really good. It's got Matthew McConaughey. Can't go wrong, even though that's a really bad Photoshop. But this is a really, really good movie. Probably one of Jack Black's best roles. Big. I love young Tom Hanks. Absolutely adore everything he did pre-Forrest Gump. And I mean, I love everything past Forrest Gump, but he was definitely in much different movies before Forrest Gump. And Big is one of the best ones. The Big Gun Down. Whoa. The Big Short. One of the few UK Hitchcock films with this beautiful artwork that I have. The Birds. I got a few of them that all have great artwork. Black Dahlia. Black Dynamite. Black Swan, which is a film I really hated when it came out. And I watched it. But then when I watched Mother, I loved Mother. So I'm like, you know what? I should go back and watch Black Swan again. See if I can appreciate it a bit more. Because I'm not super familiar with Aronofsky. I haven't seen much of his films. So I'd like to rewatch that and see how I feel. Now going in with a different perspective. Blade. And Blade 2. Blade Runner. The complete set thing. Blades of Glory. Blast from the Past. Brendan Fraser. R.I.P. Brendan Fraser. He's still alive, but I miss him in movies. Blood Diamond. Blood the Last Vampire. Blue Valentine, a movie that my wife and I watched on Valentine's Day once. Don't recommend that. Bluebeard. Bone Tomahawk. Boogie Nights. Braveheart. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Brewster's Millions. Not a huge fan of that, but it's nice to have in the collection. Bridesmaids. Bridge of Spies. Brokeback Mountain. Another UK. I have a bunch of UK Blu-rays kind of mixed in here. Bruce Almighty. Bullet in the Head. Bulletproof. I was a big fan of this back when it first came out, and then revisiting it last year, it's really not very good. I'm pretty convinced is my favorite Tom Hanks film, The Burbs. So good. This shelf's a little tight. I'm just gonna throw that in the garbage. Burn After Reading, Cabin in the Woods, The Campaign, Cannonball Run, Capote, one of the finest acting performances ever. The Captain America First Avenger, just the regular Paramount release from before. Casa de Mi Padre. I don't know if I ever mentioned this before, but I'm a huge Will Ferrell fan. I will pretty much buy anything. There's a bunch I don't have, but I will buy and watch anything he's in, and I enjoy him. No matter how bad the movie is, I can just watch him forever. I really do. I know there's a lot of people that don't like Will Ferrell, but I absolutely love Will Ferrell. Casino, Castaway, great artwork. I bought that from the UK just for that art. It's like big Tom Hanks is watching over little Tom Hanks. Catch and Release. Catch Me If You Can. Cat's Eye. Changeling. Changing Lanes, which almost sounds like Changeling if you say it fast. Chaplin. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Chasing Amy. Jaws, a Korean horror film. Children of Men. Children of Corn. Children of the Corn. Chronicle. The other Narnia movie. I do have this filed in C because they kind of started turning this into a series, which never went anywhere. But Chronicles of Riddick, Pitch Black, and Chronicles of Riddick. CJ7, Clear and Present Danger, Clerks, Cliffhanger, Close Encounters, Cloud Atlas, really great film. It's a really great film. Coach Carter, this is actually one of my favorite Sam Jackson movies as well. He's really good in that. Collateral with the worst box art. Man, the DVD box art was so good. That is garbage. Color of Money. Colossal. That's actually a really good movie. That if you can go in completely blind, it's the best experience. Coming Home. Company Men. Concussion. Conviction. Sam Rockwell is great in that. The Conjuring. Conspirator. Conversation. Couples Retreat. Crazies, which I really love that remake. Crazy Heart. Crazy Stupid Love. Great film. Creed. Creepshow. Crystal Lake Memories. Cult of Chucky. And A Cure for Wellness. All right. Oh, wait. Oh, there's one hiding over here. One more C. Curse of the Golden Flower. There you go. All right. So, I'm going to stop this here at the 30-minute mark again. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I will be back as soon as I can with the next video. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. Like the video if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't. Hey, I'm fine with that. And just let me know what you think so far. Is this Oh my god, I can't. I shouldn't be doing these so late at night. Are you enjoying these videos? Do you like the... I mean, I've been keeping the same format since the beginning. Talking a little less than I used to. Trying to get through these a little quicker. But let me know what you think. If you want me to do anything a little differently, I can try to change things up a bit for the next video. And again, find me on Instagram. I really want to get active on Instagram with my... the Instagram account I created for this channel is just cinema_blue, BLU. Find me on there. I will subscribe back if you subscribe, and we can chat. So, yeah. Again, thanks a lot, guys, and I will see you in the next video. By the way, it was Thomas Wayne that fell. That's his hand. But you know what? He'll be okay. Right, Thomas? He will be okay. See, look at him. He's still tough. He can take a fall. There he is.